Okay, I get it. You're taking a shower, minding your own business, and all of a sudden you have a vision in the shower. It's a little weird, kind of a premonition. And I know at that moment you're starting to wonder the awful, most amazing, but terrible, but cool, but awful, wonderful. Could I be a psychic? Well, the truth is a lot of people are. We're all very intuitive, much more than we've thought before. Science knows now that the mind is more intuitive than they ever dreamed, and that more people might be psychic than they thought. But how do you know if you're a psychic? Well, like I said, if you have a premonition and it comes true, well, you might be a psychic. If you dream in color, you might be a psychic. If you dream while you're dreaming, you stop the dream, change the dream around, that's called lucid dreaming, and you might be a psychic. If you wake up between 1 and 3 in the morning, it's a definite sign you could be a psychic because that is the definite hour where your premonitions are coming in, the energy's coming into your mind. This is something important. When we sleep, we use more of our brain than we do when we're awake. We use different parts. And when you sleep, you open up these parts to intuition. And by psychic, I mean intuitive, in touch with an energy of creation and a knowingness. Back in the ancient days, we called that the gut feeling. In fact, if you were a police officer and had a gut feeling, they would always listen. But of course, the word psychic has really weird connotations to it. But let's be reasonable. We're talking about intuition. We're talking about getting things right, knowing when things are right or wrong, having an inspiration of what to do next in your life. And the truth is, it's more aware than you know, and it's more out there than you possibly could imagine. Number one, it's genetic. Number two, it is inspiration, and we have it. We all have it, but maybe you're not listening to it. But I'm going to tell you right now, it doesn't stop because you don't believe. Whether you believe or not, you might just be intuitive and you might as well go with it, then fight it and still be it. So, what are the signs of being a psychic? Well, first of all, if you just know something, you just know it. You don't know why you know it, but you know it, you might be a psychic. If you believe in a higher power and you can tap into it, you might be a psychic. If you cry when you turn on the TV and see all the needless deaths in the world and really feel what's kind of going on, you might be a psychic. And if you dream something before it happens, you might be a psychic. You know, intuitive people, they have great gifts. If you have a lot of artistic and musical abilities, if you love numbers, if you get bored easily, you could be a psychic. If you have a little bit of attention deficit disorder, you might be a psychic. And if you have IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, you're getting worried and stressed before things ever happen, it could be a sign of intuition and being psychic. If you have major anxiety before things happen and you don't understand why, it could also mean that you're a psychic, and learning how to use this could actually change your life and actually help you get better and feel great about the world. Let's talk about being a psychic. If you think for yourself, you might be a psychic. If you don't let other people tell you what to believe, or if you wear what you want to wear, you could be a psychic. And you might as well, like I said, be happy about the whole thing. Okay. If you don't give up, if you believe in yourself, and if you just have a feeling everything's going to be okay, you might be a psychic. If you can tell what your animal needs before it can really get the message across, you might be a psychic. And if you occasionally see a spirit out of your eyes, or you've had a spirit in your house, good, bad, indifferent, if you've seen an ancestor after they passed, well, you might be a psychic. So, how does this work? Well, like I said, being intuitive is also very much genetic. We get it every other generation. So the grandmother passes it down, and the next grandmother passes it down. And by the time we get all our grandmothers together, we're passing it down probably every generation. And the thing about people who are very intuitive is that they always appreciate a kind deed. They see possibilities and potential in people. And if we use it and practice at using it, we can live our life very insightful. We could eliminate a lot of stress, and we could actually feel really connected to an energy of all that is. That's right. Whether you believe in being psychic or not, it doesn't stop you with your psychic. You might as well deal with the fact that you could be on the way to your life and your right path right now by just being open to the idea that you might be psychic. Now, there are different kinds of psychic abilities, and there are lots of modalities that teach you to practice and learn. And I'm going to go over a few things that you need to know so that you can actually practice and learn. But first, let's talk about it. If you feel something right here in your gut, why, that's your empathic abilities. You can feel people's feelings when they come in the room. A lot of people have that. And you can actually be one of those people. And if you don't know the difference between your feelings and somebody else's, you might be getting them confused. Just a little training could actually help you there. And we all have this little gut feeling. You know, when you're in trouble, when you're a teenager, if you came in late, you kind of got that gut feeling. Yep, that's your empathic abilities. If you feel sad when somebody comes in the room that's sad, those are empathic abilities. The other psychic abilities are your clairvoyance. Clairvoyance is when you can kind of read people's thoughts. You can see auras with clairvoyance, and you can kind of see what's going on in people's bodies a little bit with clairvoyance. The little problem with the clairvoyant part, though, which is here, your third eye, is the fact that you see people's greatest fears and greatest wishes, and sometimes may not be the complete exact thing that's going on with them, but you are definitely in tune. These are your auditory skills. They're kind of back behind your ears. And this is when you hear a voice sometimes say, move out of the way. When you're in trouble, you're in danger, something moves you. That's your auditory skills. And this is your crown. And this is where you don't know why you know, but you just know. And with this ability, going into a meditative deep theta brainwave, a dream state, you can really tap into this and actually see the truth about people, see what's going on with them, know what is in their hearts. And you can get premonitions from every one of these working together. And there's some great exercises that can kind of get you started on actually seeing what your real abilities are. Because psychic may be genetic, but you have to practice. It's like a muscle that you have to use and practice with before it gets really good. Unlike healing, which, by the way, everyone on the planet has the right and the gift to ask from healing from the divine. It's your birthright. And there's some fun practices we'll cover later, but in the meantime, stop and think. I kind of knew this before this happened. I felt this before this happened. I might be a psychic. So remember, you might be a psychic.